Greetings of peace and love, Soul Tribe. I have to do an early inhale and exhale. Whew. So much. But nothing that we cannot flow through on these last weeks and all the weeks that are to come. But today is a very, very special day because we had the solar eclipse. So that is why I'm feeling like so before I get into all the pleasantries and all of that, pre-spiel that I do, I just want to take the time to be grateful for the universe, for the gift of release, and yes, blessings for the gift of release and letting go and starting over and renewed energy, and for grace, because in stillness there is grace, in gratitude there is grace, and in compassion there is grace, in love there is grace, and reflection, introspection, there is grace, from my perspective, because when you do that, when you still yourself, it is it's magical. It's magical, and there's so much healing energy that comes from that. And just want to push this back a little. There's so much healing energy that comes from it, and you just get to sit back and just take on that energy, and receive that energy. And that's what I did today. I did a group meditation during the actual eclipse, and I was just overwhelmed with emotion, with such elation and gratitude in my heart, and just releasing all that no longer serves me. And as was passing over and closing, right before it closed out, I kept envisioning the ending of that chapter of my life, where anything, like I said, that no longer serves me was closing. Ending to any worry, ending to any stresses, ending to obstacles, ending of lacking, ending of confusion, ending. And I was putting that out there for everyone, everyone to release and let go and close the chapter. Close the chapter on your pains, past trauma. Close the chapter. Close it on your past in general, because that's what this energy is about. And everyone's talking about December 21st with that great conjunction, oh my goodness, of Jupiter and Saturn, the opposing energies coming together, and it's just telling of this time that we're in right now, where we have those on the on the left and those on the right, and those of one thinking and those of a different way of thinking. So it's just telling. It's telling. And so those that have the perspective of the planets have no control over us, and the sun and the moon means absolutely nothing. It's like, I encourage you to study just a little bit more and to open your mind, and your heart to understand, to understand much better. Yes, much love to you. Much love. I encourage you to do that, because if you just take the time to just do away with the opinions and expressions of others, or what you have been, taught throughout your life. And because, a lot of times I tell people all the time that a lot of the things that we do and a lot of our ideas and thoughts and things that we carry on into our lives was from someone else. And we never took the time to question it or to research it ourselves. So again, I encourage you to do your own research. I tell people all the time, even with me, just don't take what I say. Research. Look it up yourself so that you can know within you that, you know what? This is truth. This is truth, not fact. Because I tell you, there's a difference between truth and facts. Facts are just like compiled, opinions, of someone else. But, and that which can be argued, but truth stands. Truth stands. You can't mess with that. There's no bending it. There's no stretching it. There's no maybe, I don't know. No, truth is truth. That's it. So please, again, I encourage you guys to open up just a little bit more and do your own research in all things, because these energies are real, and if you stand on understanding that there is a greater force out there, again, however you reference it, God, the creator, the universe, the absolute, the all, the infinite, however you reference that energy, if that energy decided to put all of these things into place, the planets and these other energies and, to create this duality, then you have to know that they're there for a reason. And if all things and everything is energy, that those energies have to be placing, some type of, I can't even think of the word, I just lost my whole word. But you guys understand what I'm saying. That they're subjecting something, within you. You have to say somewhere in you, you're like, that makes some sense, right? Like, that makes a lot of sense. So, I'm feeling so very, after that meditation for the eclipse on today. Whew! But now that I've gotten all that out, getting to the spill. Welcome to everyone joining Summer Solstice, your sister, again for another Mindfulness Mondays. And everyone all together, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is an awareness, a self-awareness of your thoughts, your mannerisms, your body language, your visions, your everything at every given moment. So every way that you express, yourself in this third dimensional plane, that's what mindfulness is. So again, if you have missed any of these previous sessions, you can either go back to Inglewood Virtual Recreation and catch up there, or you can go over to my YouTube channel, which I encourage you to do. Like and subscribe, please, over at Summer Solstice. So that's SUMERSOULSTICE on YouTube. And if you are inspired by these sessions, and I'm telling everyone that it's the end of the year. It's coming to an end. But, those that understand what the new year really is, but all those that are in the energy where thinking that December is, the end and we're going to be entering into a new energy in January, I encourage you. It's time to get your mind all the way right. And I actually I'm changing the name of my counseling/consultation services to the 3-Finger Counseling Services. Why 3-Finger? Because everyone does this, but they forget about this. And so I'm doing 50% off on the sessions. And, I encourage you, if you have anything or whatever situation you find yourself in right now, and you like, I need some clarity, what is happening, what is going on with me, sign up for one of my sessions, because I guarantee you I can help you to get your mind right. And you will be seeing a whole new perspective and a whole new day when we are done. I had a sister that I love so much yesterday, and you saw the post that she posted for me, and I'm so grateful. Shout out to Maha. And she is a beautiful intuitive and reader. So if you guys ever want readings, Shout out to Maha Devi, but she put a post yesterday, saying that I helped her to get out of her scary, dark place. And that session was intense, with her. But, my love for humanity and my fellow brothers and sisters out there is vast. And that is why I came down to this earthly plane during this particular life cycle, is to do this work and to be of service to you. So again, I encourage you, do not let the ending of this year, you carrying over all that mess, and your mind is still scrambled, and you still holding on to past hurts and traumas and pain, and you still doing this, and you not thinking about this. These three fingers pointing back at you. I encourage you to sign up for a session. So go on over to my website, www.summer, SUMER, solstice, SOULSTICE.com, and sign up for a session. If not, you guys can just hit me up in the DMs on Facebook, Summer Mullen, MULLEN, 1 M in Summer, and I'm like, sis, I need some help, and I can get you that way too. Whew. Okay, now that we've gotten all that out of the way. Last week, we talked about what? What was the self-mastery tool for last week? It was so deep. Oh, I loved it. Mistakes, right? We talked about there are no mistakes, only actions. Because guess what? It's all experience. And, I found an amazing post. Of course, Buddha always has some great posts. Speaking about that very thing, about just judgment. Judging. We judge ourselves and we judge others so terribly, about the mistakes that they've made. But we oftentimes forget about the mistakes that we made. And there has to be compassion. There has to be understanding. And people say, why do you say understanding instead of understand? Because when you understand, you allow your higher self to align. You are speaking from the source. You allow yourself to connect with that person, and it takes you back. It separates you from judgment, honestly, because when you can go back and remember all those times where you made mistakes and all you wanted someone was to understand, but all you got was judgment, that should pause you and say, you know what, I don't want anyone else to feel like that. I don't want to place that energy on someone else, because you know how you felt. And you see that there, I just did that like with me too. You see, boom boom, point at you and point at me. I know how I felt when I was judgmental or when I was being judged. And I just wanted somebody like, yes, I know that, I should not have done it. Now, I wasn't thinking, but people with good hearts sometimes, don't make the right choices, because I don't want to say, bad. Good and bad is relative. I tell people all the time that it's only an energy. It's just one makes us feel one way and one makes us feel the other. They're polar though. They're polar. So it's about just making a choice. It was a choice that was made. And so again, you never wanted anybody to judge you. So I tell people, stop judging others. There has to be grace. There has to be a period of compassion. So the compassion read, as a master, I have gone to the depths of the ocean of mistakes. Recognizing mistakes for what they are, I am no longer judgmental, but I truly love unconditionally. To love unconditional is without judgment. Imagine, again, God, universal energy, the absolute, the all, the infinite, sat up there and judged us so harshly as how we judge others. We wouldn't be here. There'd be nobody on the planet. Maybe a few monks and gurus. Maybe a few monks and gurus would be still here. But for the rest of us, we've been damned to 10,000 times over. So again, it's like, don't judge. Because, and sometimes, as people are like, well, I haven't done anything. How about those thoughts you were thinking? What about those thoughts, that energy you was projecting upon others? The things that you didn't tell anybody about that you was thinking secretly within yourself. Yeah, because we all been there too. You done had some ugly, nasty thoughts. We all have. So what if you were judged on your thoughts and the energy you projected on somebody, all those secret things that you did that don't nobody know that you did against somebody else. What if you was judged the way that you judge others? I always tell you, Arsenio Hall said it best, things that make you go, Yeah, so have some compassion. Have compassion. Have inner standing. Inner standing. Because again, you know what my quote is, what my motto is. I am you, you are me, and we are we. We are all one. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not. Now don't get me wrong, there are some soulless ones that's on this planet right now. And we're not talking about them. Okay, we talk about the universal mind. All those are like-minded individuals, okay? All those that are connecting with one another, okay? Because we got all these strings connecting us to one another. So again, I always say that we are mere reflections of one another. Mere reflections of one another. And so, let's not judge. Let's be of service. You know, I tell what I always say. You either two things in a person's life. You either help or hindrance. So, do you think judging is helping? Is judgment help? It's not. It's not. It's like, okay, this is what the choice that you made, and you suffered the consequence of it, or we suffered the consequence of it. However it played out, that person's choice. It's like, what do we do from now? I mean, you look at, I had a brother who told me a story this week about him being on the highway driving one day, and there was two cars that sped past him, and in his thought, he was just like, you know, my God, they could, you know, kill each other, and if they left here today or tomorrow, like they, you know, families would be torn up. And in that split second, that car lost control, crashed into a medium, destroyed the car, and there was a young lady that was 22 years young. It was her and the boyfriend in the car. The boyfriend was able to get out, but the young lady was trapped. And the brother was telling me he watched this young lady, you know, transcend. You know, she died, and he's like, it was blood coming out. He's like, the most traumatic, you know, thing that he had experienced. But, you know, in that same breath, it was like, wow, the realization how, you know, in an instant, it could all, you know, be gone. And we're still up here, like I said, judging and pointing and all these things. But he said he was the only witness to the accident. And even though there were other people that were surrounded, but he was the only one that actually showed up to the court. And the brother of the sister that passed came up to him and said, like, you know, that he had forgiven, you know, his sister's boyfriend for, you know, what transpired. The choice that boyfriend made to speed and race someone down the aisle. He was like, you know, I forgive and I let go. And so that's what it's about. It's like, we have to get to a place of compassion. We don't know what was going on. We all, like I said, have been at a place where we made a choice, and it either had a positive consequence or a negative consequence. But somewhere in there, you're like, oh, gosh, I just want somebody to understand. I know the feeling, the energy just come with it. Is like, if I could take it back, if I could take it back, if I could take it back. And in that, you wanted somebody to understand. Wanted someone to have compassion. So we just have to remember that. We have to remember that soul tribe. Got to remember that. Compassion in all things. Compassion. Grace. I forgot to do our inhale and exhale, right? I just started. I was just full throttle today. Full throttle. So now that all that has been said, let's take that in. Let's take compassion in for a moment. You know, let's clear away anything that you're holding against someone that you know that is so far in the past, and you just need to inhale grace and compassion and exhale letting it all go, because you cannot change the past. It is done. It is done. It is over. The only reason why it still lives is because you continue to bring it into thought, into your present, into your existence. So let's 3 times. We're going to inhale compassion and unconditional love. And then we're going to exhale all the mistakes. All right, so here we go. And remember, when you're breathing in, filling up the diaphragm first and then filling up the chest. And we're just going to hold it for like 1 beat. And then we're going to exhale. When you exhale, I want you to exhale it with a like really like exhaling it out. Okay, here we go. Settle on your feet and put it together. And on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Inhaling that compassion and grace again. Exhaling everything else. And one more time, inhale that compassion and that love. Inhale. And exhale it all out. Whew. That felt amazing. That felt amazing. Woo. Excited. And Soul Tribe, how many of you went and purchased your journals? I've been talking about this and posting about journaling, gratefulness, writing your grateful, your 3 things you're grateful for every single new day, writing your affirmations in your journal, expressing your thoughts, writing your visions, creating your reality, okay, for this new energy that's coming in, especially, like I said, like, get clear. And I like this little journal because, excuse me, it has like little sayings in it every single new day. So today is, when you love what you have everything you need. Ooh! I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. When you love what you have everything you need. That's gratefulness. That's what that is. That is a gratefulness quote right there. That is saying how grateful you are. Because when you are grateful for all that you have, the universe just keeps on gifting you. Keeps on gifting you with everything that you need. It's just like, oh, listen, she's grateful for everything she has. She has everything that she needs. So guess what? She does. Boom, boom. Or he does. Boom, boom. It's going to keep giving you more and more and more and more and more. So, let's choose an affirmation. Ooh, look at that one. Ooh, I like this one. It just came to me. Every breath I take brings me more tranquility. Let's say that together. And remember, I always say it with purpose and power and intention, that you know 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 that is true. Here we go. Every breath I take brings me more tranquility. Yes. 2 more times. Every breath I take brings me more tranquility. Yes. And for the last time. Every breath I take brings me more tranquility. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And what does ashe mean? It means so it is and so it shall be. So it is and so it shall be. So get that journal. Okay? Right? Put your heart down on the paper so it can be expressed. Yes? And also you can, I got another one. It says, you got this. Oh, and I saw this. Oh, actually, no, this was gifted to me at an event. I forgot about that. So, yeah, I didn't purchase this one. It was given to me. But when I saw it, I was like, I actually won it in a raffle. And I very rarely win raffles. So, I'd be excited when I'm like, me, you think I won $1 million. Like, But it says you got this. So, this is another one. But I actually write all, like, my different classes that I'm taking. Because I'm taking about, like, 4 different classes right now. But, you know, like I said, I'm a scholar. Or a.k.a. nerd, as people like to call it. I love to learn. Love to learn. So, that's that. Okay, let's get into it. Let me check my time. Because, you know, I be, like, talking a lot. And then I'll be, like, before I know it. So, I'm going to have to make it really quick. My gosh, I went in today on the wrong thing. But I wanted to talk, today's topic is going to be on personal influence and obsession. Because there's a lot of influence going on right now. And some of it is not positive, my soul tribe. Some of it is not positive. Actually, majority of it is not positive. Let's keep it real. And what is the personal influence and obsession with is right now? Fear. That false evidence appearing real. Let's say it again. Fear, false evidence appearing real. And it is a lot of it being spewed out there right now. Because what did I say? What do I always say? And what does universal energy, God, the absolute, they all say? There is no fear. Where there is love, there is no fear. Okay? But where there is fear, there is no love. Because you are loved unconditionally. Okay, you are love. You are perfection. So there cannot be any fear. It's too much fear being spewed out here right now. People are scared. I'm like, why? There's no fear because I am loved. I am loved. And as long as I am loved by the infinite power, there is nothing that can harm me or you. Nothing. Nothing is greater than that power, that source. And so this is why, I say all the time, I'm like, it's either you stand on what you know or you don't. You can't walk around here and when you're comfortable, when everything is good, you're like, yeah, everyone can have their faith. Then, everyone be like, God is able, God is mighty, God can do through all things, y'all know the cool. But you know what I mean? I can do all things. Thank you. Spirit was like, I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. Those that are Christians, because like I said, at one time, I was under that school of thought. But, now I'm like, I understand, a little bit more. But I'm like, blessings. I don't judge anyone. I'm like, as long as you are operating in a spirit of love, and it's feeding you the truth now, I'm all for it. But again, getting back to my point, you can't say all these things and then you invoke fear into your life because it's contradictory. Understand? You're contradicting what you say to be true. I'm just saying, think about it for a minute. Think about it. I don't have no people like, oh my gosh, people like, you're not scared, you don't do this, you don't this, you ain't wearing this, and you ain't covered up, and what? For what? I am loved. I am divinely loved. I am protected in all ways, at all times, in all things, in all situations, in all experiences. That's it. And I stand on and I walk in that. I walk in it. So let's talk about this personal influence and obsession. People often become mildly, I'm sorry, okay, I couldn't get that word out. Mildly obsessed by the mentalities of those surrounding them. I'm going to read that one more time. Oh, and for those that don't know, The Science of Mind, I encourage everyone to go out and get this book. Get this book. This thing is powerful right here. I've been reading it for the last 2 years, honestly. I go back to it all the time. Just when I'm like, something feel like it's going crazy, I'm like, get the mind right. But people often become mildly obsessed by the mentalities of those surrounding them. And I just want to say that is why it's important for you to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. If you're surrounding yourself by people that are also in fear, then guess what? That energy, you're taking that in more and more and more. So if you got 1, 2, 3, 4 people and they all operating in the spirit of fear, guess what? You're going to be nervous Nelly. Your whole being and everything going to be shook up and shook out and everything else. But if you're surrounding yourself with people who know that they know that they know that they know, that they loved, and that there is no fear, guess what? You're creating that like a bubble, around you. Like this big energy bubble is created around you like... it's like a force field. Ain't nothing penetrating that force field. Not from the source from which I draw from. Nothing is penetrating that force field. Understand? Okay, so this is called personal contagion. It's a symptom. I'm like, they got it diagnosed. This is called personal contagion. Many take on the color of their environment. And this should be guarded against, for it is a mild form of hypnotism. Hypnotism. A lot of people walking around get hypnotized. Because they watching this, that what promotes what? Fear, 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 fear. They talking to people that are scared, so then what does that promote? Fear, 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 fear. You know what I mean? They surrounded with people that are fearful. So what does it promote? Fear, 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 fear. So you hypnotized. And you have been subjected to personal contagion. It is, of course, brought about through the suggestive power of unconscious mental action and may or may not be malicious. Now, for the people that are surrounding you, probably won't be malicious. But the people that's spewing it out the most, you know what I'm talking about? NEWS, they doing it on purpose. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know that fear is the greatest energy that will tear the body and mind up. Okay? Tear it down. The cells become depressed. Your cells in your body become frantic and depressed and crazy and out of whack. And they cannot function the way in which they need to function because you are putting all this fear in them, so that they become scared and frantic and they're like, ah! Literally your cells is in there like, ah! All is lost. And they're the ones that are helping your organs to function. So guess what? Each organ start to shut down, and that's when you get all these dis-eases because you created a dis-ease in the body. So, we should never allow ourselves to become controlled by anything that we do not consciously allow to enter the thought. But some of you are consciously allowing it to enter the thought. Because you keep watching it over and 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 over again, like you want to be fearful, like you want to be scared. You want to be scared? Do you want to put that energy into your body? Do you want to put that into you? Want to plant that seed? Because once you plant that seed, and then guess what? You continue to water it with watching more fearful stuff, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Until the next thing you know, you're gonna be like neurotic. You know? Scared of everything. If you knew the amount of mess that you run into just like going outside every day, like, the bacteria that's out there, like if you really, again, did research on that, you'd be like, oh my gosh, you never go outside. But again, when your mind is right and you have only filled it with understanding that you are divinely loved and what comes with that divine love, I'll be walking around looking like this is all foreign to me out there. I don't even know what this is about. I'll be outside. I go out there dancing. I do my sun gazing. I soaking up my vitamin D. And, I'm like out there in the park, pop locking. And people be seeing me dancing on the way. People that, see me in the town, dancing all the way to the store, dancing back. I'm singing. That's when you know you're divinely loved. That's when there is no fear. So, we should never allow ourselves to become controlled by anything that we do not consciously, and I'm going to say, or consciously, allow to enter the thought. If one feels an influence silently demanding attention, he or she should at once declare that there is no power in the flesh or but of it that can control him or her. I'm going to read that again because it is powerful. Y'all should be writing this sentence down. If one feels an influence silently or sneaking, okay, or even thinking about or trying to make its way, demanding attention in your thought process, he or she at once, immediately, don't wait, immediately, declare that there is no power. You hear that? No power. None. No power, because there is no power that is greater than what? The source, God, the absolute, the all. There is no power greater than, okay? So there is no power in the flesh or but of it that can control him or her. Period, as they say now, the kids. Period, right? So, period. Except, of course, the one perfect mind. I'm going to close. I'm closing the book on that. Okay, and what is the one perfect mind? The only thing that should be controlling your flesh and your mind is the one perfect mind. The unity, again, the all, the absolute, the eternal love. Ooh, soak that love, y'all. I want y'all to get this. Really. I want y'all to really, really get it. And understand, because you have to be standing on your square for these times that are coming. You have to be standing on your square, and your square can't be shaky. It can't be shaky. You have to stand firm on what you know to be the truth, because there are going to be these entities, these soulless ones, that's going to attack you, attack your mind. And if it ain't strong enough, you going to fall for what they used to say back. My mother used to say, the okie doke. You going to fall for it. My mother used to say all the time, and I'm sure it's just a famous quote, you know, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. If you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. What you standing for, Soul Tribe? What are you standing for? You standing for fear, or you standing on love? You standing on fear, or you standing on your faith? That which you claimed you stand on. I want you to think about that. Think about that through this week. And I'm about to pull this card, and we're going to watch how the angels and the guides connected with this lesson. So, see what they pull out for today. What is our self-mastery tool for today? Or for this week? Because I told you guys I pull one for myself every day. And I'll be excited to see what they're going to say every day. So, let's see. I'm going to do my little song. Self-mastery. Self-mastery too. Self-mastery. Self-mastery too. Self-mastery. Self-mastery too. Let's see. Let's pop card. Pop card. Pop. Ooh. Peace. Peace is the self-mastery tool for this week, and it reads, I am peace. My heart is peaceful. My purpose is peace. My true home is the world of uninterrupted quietness. As a master, I am at peace with myself and with the world outside. Look at that. With the world outside. The world outside. There's peace out there. Ain't no fear out there. There's no fear out there. It's only peace, because peace is your home. I'm going to read it again. Write this down. Write this down. I am peace. My heart is peaceful. My purpose is peace. My true home is the world of uninterrupted quietness. As a master, I am at peace with myself and with the world outside. Ashe. Peace is your home, Soul Tribe. Nothing can disturb your peace when you know who you are. And you know from which you came. And you understand that source from which you came only wants what is greatest for you. And what is that? Peace. Peace. Love. Serenity. Bliss. Calm, clarity, authenticity. And that's where you find peace. Being your authentic self. I had to understand this. Oh my gosh, during this life cycle, I had to understand and accept my authenticity. that I am a multifaceted being. And if you guys like check out, my Facebook page, you see I have, summer solstice. I have the art of femininity. I had a page with sin of men. These are all aspects of this one being. I tell people all the time that I have 4 distinct aspects, of myself. But I'm all one though. But it's all me, and I had to learn to accept that and function in them, because that is what makes me me. I'm like no other being, and I had to appreciate, all of these facets of me. Because one person be like, well, but you have this summer solstice and mindfulness Mondays, and it's like your intellectual, so the intellectual nerd, the wisdom. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And then you going over to my art of femininity, and then there's the sensuality, coach. And it's like, yes, that is when I invoke the divine feminine, and that's a different aspect of me. So it's just like, again, I'm flowing in all these things, but it's me. And so when you find your peace, that you have peace in your heart, that you all peace, and that outside there's nothing but peace, inside here there's nothing but peace, you draw upon you only peace. I'm like, look, let me check my time. It's a beautiful place, Soul Tribe. It's a beautiful place. And then you'll sing and dance all day long too, and you will draw upon you all that you desire. All that you desire. Because all that you desire is within you. It's about that spiritual wealth. That's what this whole ascension for me has been about. And they were showing me, the angels and my spirit guides and the ancestors and the ancients was like, you worried about that material wealth so much, but you're forgetting about your spiritual wealth. Because that is the true wealth. Because once you have that, you can have all this material. You will just draw all that you desire to you. But I'm like, let me get to these power cards before we run out of time. What's our power for this week? What is your power? What is your power? Power, 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 power. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that came right on out. Power to face. I am the hero of my own story. A hero's journey to sovereignty. With the power to face, I surmount many obstacles and walls and return to my original and eternal self. You are the hero of your story. And what does the hero do? Hero saves the day. Each and every time, all day, every day. Are you saving your day? You know how you save your day? Having peace and calm in here. Okay? Peace and calm in here. Aligning mind, body, and spirit each and every day. That's why I tell you guys, get your meditation on. Get that yoga on. Okay? You're stretching. Dance. Move. Movement is life. Stretch. So that your body can be fluid, and so that you don't create stiffness and rigor mortis. Like I always tell you guys, you don't want to be close to death, because stiffness is close to death. We don't want that. I'm going to read again. Power to face. I am the hero of my own story. A hero's journey to sovereignty. With the power to face, I surmount many obstacles and walls and return to my original and eternal self, which is the hero, the unlimited being with unlimited possibilities that creates its reality by thought, by visualization, by intention, by focus, determination, and willpower. You create it. What are you creating for you? What are you creating, Soul Tribe? What kind of world are you creating for you? Is it a world of fear and lack, thinking that you're less than, thinking that this thing is out of your control? Is that what you're creating? Or are you creating a world of bliss and serenity, and understanding that I am loved. I am loved. And that's all I need, is to know that. And I'm surrounded by love. I'm protected by love. Whew! I love it. And grateful, 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 grateful for this time with you guys. Another time to serve. You know, another time to pass on this love and light to you. But it has now ended for this particular session. So remember, I think I done shuffled it up, but be peace, you know, this week. Face the fact that you are the hero of your story. Do away with fear. Do away with that personal contagion. Again, surround yourself with like-minded individuals who pour love into you. Okay? Who speak life into you. Life, not fear. Life. Again, if you guys missed any portion of this, you can head on over to my YouTube channel. I will be uploading it. Summer Solstice. SUMERSOULSTICE. And again, if you are seeking, again, before the end of this 12-month chapter is over, and you need clarity, and you know that there's some things that you need to let go of and heal, and you don't know how to, go over to my website and sign up for, it's going to be called soon, the 3-finger consultation coaching session, because I'm going to teach you how to stop doing this and paying attention to this finger and pay attention to these 3 fingers. I love you. Oh, the website, sorry, is www.summerSUMERSOULSTICE.com. And if you can't get me there, you guys can always hit me in the DMs on Facebook under Summer Mullen, 1 M in Summer, MULLEN. Love you. Sending you an abundance of love energy. Until next week, be peace, and walk in your authenticity. I love you. Peace, love, and light.